Good morning. Good morning. Today we will see the solved question paper of BSc in September 2020, that is of 2010 scheme. So the first question is the explain role of administrator in organizing clinical facilities for the students in nursing education institution and describe the accreditation guidelines for a college of nursing. So it carries 8 plus 7, 15 marks. So first we will see the role of administrator. So the first role is done on it means the organizing the clinical facilities is based on the syllabus and regulations led by INC and universities. Clinical experience related to each course should be planned in accordance with the objectives of that particular course. Then prepare a clinical rotation plan. In nursing, it refers to a regular, successive and recurrent posting of various groups of nursing students belonging to different classes in specific nursing field like OPD, ward, labor room, primary health center, etc. So clinical rotation plan is the statement which explains the order of the clinical posting of various groups of nursing students belonging to different classes in relevant clinical areas and community health settings as per requirement laid down by the statutory bodies. A well-planned clinical rotation plan will help the students to gain maximum experience from the clinical area. So, this will contribute towards the attainment of overall objectives of nursing educational program. The factors which we have to consider while we prepare a clinical rotation plan that include requirements stated by the statutory bodies, the objectives of the particular course, only limited number of students can be posted in particular area, especially in critical area. So, critical area, for example, ICU, OT, labor room. So, number of students in each class should be taken in consideration while preparing the clinical rotation plan. Infrastructure of the hospital, number and size of the departments, especially when running more than one program. More than one program means BSc Nursing, MSc, along with post-basic and GNM also. So we have to consider the students from the other program also. Presence of students of other program, agency of authority concern of the hospital management concern, duration of the clinical experience in each area, number of persons available for clinical supervision. It should be in accordance with the master rotation plan made in advance with cooperation of all faculty. Maximum teaching should be followed. Principles of continuity, sequence and integration should be followed. Enough teaching staff should be available for the supervision in the clinical area. First year students should get maximum attention. All students should get enough experience and all assignments related to the clinical area should be finished before completion of the posting. Overcrowding should be avoided. Then describe the accreditation guidelines for a college of nursing. Accreditation means the official approval of an organization. Accreditation means an act of granting approval to an organization by an official review board after the organization has met specific written requirements of the standards. So first, applying for the institution to be accredited. So we have to prepare a report by the institutional head according to the criteria format sent by the accrediting agency. Then, second means when the agency receives this report, they visit to the site by the inspector appointed by the accrediting agency to verify the self-study report whether whatever the report which the head of the institution has submitted is correct or not. Then prepare a report by the visitors. Then report made by the visitors along with the institution report is sent to the review board of council. Then the board will review on the basis of all data and reports make the final decisions whether the accreditation should be granted or not. Criteria for accreditation report of the inspection of the college held on. Then types of depend upon the types of training given, date of previous inspection, recognition of the college by the government, order number, date and number of seats sanctioned per the year, number of students admitted for the year after the course date of inspection, and regarding the detail of staff qualification, demonstrations room, library, office for the principal and tutors, laboratory, number of classrooms. Process of recognition of the school or the college include the trial basis. The recognition is given on a temporary basis based on the application submitted plus pending the inspection and is done after the favorable report of the accreditation. Permanent recognition. After the inspection and evaluation, that is when the school or college meet the college, all the criteria prescribed by the INC, the permanent recognition is given. Service rendered by the accreditation agency include registration and admission of the students, distribution of study materials, organization of personal contact program, and registering students for the external examination, distribution of the mark sheet and certificate. Describe the methods of patient assignment and explain job description of a staff nurse. Overall goal of the nursing is to meet the patient nursing needs with available resources for providing smooth day and night 24-hour quality care patient and honor of his right. To ensure that nursing care is provided to the patient, the work must be organized. The nursing care delivery model organizes the work of caring for the patients. Method of patient assignments are case method or total patient care, functional nursing, team nursing or modular nursing, primary nursing, case management or managed care, progressive patient care. So we will see in short each one. First is the case method. A case method or total patient care method of a nursing care delivery is the oldest method for providing care to the patient. In this method, nurses assume total responsibility for meeting all the needs of the assigned patient during their time on duty. The premise of the case method is to be one nurse provide total care to the one patient during her entire work period on one shift. This method was used in the era of Florence Nightingale when the patient received total care in home. During 8 to 12-hour shift, the patient received consistent care from one nurse. The nurse, patient, family share mutual trust and work together toward specific goals. Usually, the care of the patient is a patient-centered, comprehensive, holistic, and continuous. Second is primary nursing care. It was developed nearly 1960s with the aim of placing registered nurses by the bedside and improving the professional relationship among staff members. It supported philosophy regarding nurse and patient relationship. In this method, on the concept of my patient, my nurse, in this nursing care delivery system, each registered nurse assigned to the care of a group of patients for which she plans a 24-hour care and writes the nursing care plan. He or she responsible for coordinating and implementing all the necessary nursing care that must be given to the patient during the shift. This type of nursing can also be used in hospice nursing or home care nursing. Provides total direct care for the patient. Requires nursing staff made up to only nurses. Functional nursing. This is task focused, not patient focused. In this model, the tasks are divided with one nurse assuming responsibility of specific task. For example, one nurse does the hygiene and dressing changes, whereas another nurse assumes the responsibility of medication administration, another nurse assumes the responsibility of taking the vital signs. Team nursing. Team nursing is based on the philosophy in which the group of professional or non-professional personnel work together to identify, plan, implement, and evaluate comprehensive client-centered care. In team nursing, the registered nurse leads the composed of other registered nurse or the nurse assistants or the technicians. The team members provide direct patient care to the group of patients under the direction of registered nurse, team leader, or in a coordinated effort. The charged nurse delegates authority to a team leader who must be a professional nurse. This nurse leads the team, usually 4 to 6 members in the care between 15 to 25 patients. Team leader assign the task, schedule the care, instruct team members details of care. Progressive patient care. This method in which the client areas provide various levels of care. The central theme is better utilization of facilities, services, and personnel for better patient care. Here, the clients are evaluated with respect to all, that means the intensity of care needed. As they progress towards increased self-care, as they become less ethically ill or need for intensive care or monitoring, they are moved to the units where the best to provide type of the care needed. Next is the case management. The case manager is assigned responsibility of following patient's care and progress from diagnostic phase through hospitalization, rehabilitation, and back to home care. For example, case manager for a cardiac surgery patient assists them to go through diagnostic procedures, preoperative preparation, surgical interventions, family counseling, postoperative care, and rehabilitation. Job description of a staff nurse. It's divided under three headings. First is nursing care of the patients. First one, assess the total needs of the patients, prepare the plan of nursing care, admission and discharge of patients, demonstrate and carry out efficient nursing care, taking care of personal comfort and toilet of patients, administration of drugs treatment, observation and recording of vital parameters, supervise patient's diet, attending rounds with medical or nursing personnel, assist medical staff in examination of patients and treatment, participate and help in clinical investigations, demonstrate and carry out post-operative, preoperative and post-operative care, maintains the patient's records, care of patient's personal effects in accordance with the hospital rules, giving and receiving reports, follow prescribed rules in case of accident or death of a patient, give information and health education to the patients and their attenders, intimation to the nursing supervisors of any emergency or unusual occurrence in the ward. In ward management, handing over and taking over charge of patient at the end of each shift, assignment of work to the nursing sister grade 2 and domestic staff, coordinate, facilitate work of other staff like physiotherapist, social worker, dietitian, voluntary workers, etc. Maintaining a good interpersonal relationship with among all categories of staff and patients with their relatives. Maintaining cleanliness of the ward with annexed environment, proper upkeep and repairs of the linen and ward equipment, make indents of drugs, surgical supplies, store and issue, keep custody of dangerous drugs and record of their administration, daily check of emergency drugs and life-saving equipments, maintenance of stock registers, inventories, investigates complaints if there is any. Next is teaching and supervision. Orientation of new staff and student nurses, participate in service education of nursing personnel, attend staff meetings, impart planned and incidental teaching, supervise sister grade 2 and student nurses, supervise the domestic staff, consult and cooperate with nursing tutor in arranging clinical teaching, perform any other duty as may be specified from time to time. Short notes. The first one is functions of management. It includes first is planning. Planning is an important function of management because it sets the pace for all subsequent steps in the managerial process. You will need to develop a roadmap for the future, that is predefined steps to accomplish the organization goals. Second is organizing. This is where we put our plan into action by establishing a system of authority or hierarchy in the context of the organizational structure, which determine the tasks that need to be completed to achieve the goals before assigning them to the staff. Staffing. It is another important function of management. Manager has to assign tasks based on each team member's knowledge, skill and ability. He has to be careful here because he may have to hire new talent or specific tasks that require specific technical expertise. Directing. Directing is concerned with the supervising the team's process. In this step, manager have to keep an open channel communication and get regular updates to stay on the top of the things. Controlling. This is where manager have to measure the progress of each step established in the planning stage against the organization goals. Next is the performance appraisal. Performance appraisal is the systematic periodic process that assesses an individual employee's job performance and productivity in relation to certain pre-established criteria and organizational objectives. Other aspects of individual employees are considered as well, such as organization, citizenship, behavior, accomplishment, potential for future improvement, strength or weakness, etc. To collect the performance appraisal, there are three methods, that is objective production, personal and judgmental evaluation. Judgmental evaluation is most commonly used with a large variety of evaluation tools. A performance appraisal typically conducted annually. The interview could function as the providing feedback to the employees, counseling and developing employees, conveying and discussing compensation, job status or disciplinary decision. Performance appraisal is often included in the performance of management system. Performance management systems are employed to manage and align all of the organization resources in order to achieve highest possible performance. How performance is managed in an organization determines to a large extent the success and failure of the organization. Therefore, improving the performance appraisal for everyone should be among the highest priorities of contemporary organizations. Objectives include To review the performance of the employees over a given period of time, to judge the gap between actual and desired performance, to help the management in exercising organization control, helps to strengthen the relationship and communication between superior subordinates and the management employees, to diagnose the strength and weakness of individuals so as to identify the training and development needed for the future. To provide feedback to the employees regarding their past performance, to provide information to assess their personal decisions in organization, provide clarity of expectation and responsibilities of the functions to be performed by the employees, to judge the effectiveness of other human resource functions of organizations, recruitment, selection, training and development, to reduce grievance of the employees. The tools which we use are ranking, paired comparison, force distribution, confidential report, essay evaluation, critical incident, checklist, graphic rating scale, behaviorally anchored rating scale, force choice method, management by objective, field review techniques and performance tests. Next short note is Consumer Protection Act. Consumer Protection Act is 1986, an act of the Parliament of India enacted in 1986 to protect interest of consumers in India. This act aims to provide better protection of the interest of the consumers, to make provisions for establishment of consumer councils and other authorities to provide speedy and cheap remedy to the consumers. It safeguards the rights of the consumers. Consumer is a person who buys any goods or avail of any service for a consideration which has been paid or promised to be paid either fully or partially or in some form of deferred payment. Till 1995, even the courts were not clear whether the doctors are covered under the Consumer Protection Act. In the landmark case in 1985, the Supreme Court decisions of Indian Medical Association vs. V.P. Sham, the five medical profession has been brought under the section of Consumer Protection Act. Maximum time limit to claim to be filed under CPA is 2 years from the date of occurrence or cause of action. There has no court fees to be paid to file a complaint in consumer forum. Further, a complainant or opposite party can present his case on his own without the help of a lawyer. The court has great responsibility to punish the guilty doctors at the same time to protect the honest doctors from undue harassment at the hands of the patients. Next short note is in-service education. In-service education is the planned activities which intended and upon the educational experimental basis of professional nurses for the enhancement of practice, education, administration and research or theoretical development aimed at improving the health of the public. It is a definition given by ANA, American Nurses Association. The aims include helps to improve professional growth and development, gives chance for the promotion of the staff members, individual nurses upgrade their knowledge and skills, enhances to improve the performance while rendering care to the client. Characteristics include it is in a job setting, planned and ongoing, designed to meet the demands of changing needs like scientifically, technically, medically in respect to patient care and treatment. In-service education mainly focuses on efficiency and quality of service. The purpose of in-service education include it helps to improve professional competence, keep the nursing personnel abreast of the latest trends and development of new techniques, helps to update the knowledge and skills at all levels. Nurses can update knowledge regarding current research and development, develop interest and job satisfaction among the staff, encourage the employees in achieving the staff development and staff confidence, develop leadership skills, motivation and better attitude. Need for in-service education include first is need for development of manual, behavioral and communication skills essential for execution of their jobs. Needs for the development of decision making and managerial skill. Needs for introduction to the routine job which has expanded new, higher and complicated. Needs for development of leadership skills. Need for development of analytical and innovative thinking for investigating potentiality and efficiency of their job. The types of in-service education include orientation, skill training, leadership and management development and continuing education. Next question is quality assurance. Quality assurance is a dynamic process through which nurses assume accountability for quality of care they provide. It is a guarantee to the society that service provided by the nurse are being regulated by the members of a profession. A quality assurance program is an ongoing systematic process designed to evaluate and promote excellence in healthcare provided to the clients. It's a sequential process that involves setting the standards of care, measuring the patient care according to the standards, gathering data from the chart review, observing patient care, interviewing the patient and givers, and making recommendations for improvement. The concepts quality assurance originated in the manufacturing industry. The idea ensures that product consistently achieve consumer satisfaction. Quality assurance is a dynamic process through which nurses assume accountability for quality of care they provide. It is a guarantee to the society, and the approaches by general approach. It involves large governing bodies of agencies' ability to meet established criteria like credentialing, licensure, accreditation, and certification. Specific approach quality assurance this method identifies the intents of provides client interaction like peer review and standard. Quality assurance process. First, we have to establish standard of criteria, then identify the information relevant to the criteria, determine ways to collect this information, collect and analyze this information, compare collected information with established criteria or the standard, make judgment about the quality, provide information, and if necessary, take corrective action regarding findings of appropriate sources, determine ways to collect the information. Impact of quality assurance in nursing include nurses are accountable for their action. Nurses can deliver high standard care, guaranteeing standards of care to the public. Nurses actively involved in audit and consumer relation, improves overall quality of the nursing care, improve all type of documentation and communication, helps in professional growth, helps to maintain international standard, helps to compare the standard with another institution, avoid malpractice and bias. 4 principles of organization: division of labor, delegation of authority, scalar principle, and unity of command are the key 4 principles of organization. Other principles are objective, specialization, coordination, authority and responsibility, definition, span of control, balance, continuity, uniformity, unity of command, exception, simplicity, efficiency, and scalar principles. For purpose of material management, to gain economy in purchasing, satisfy demand during the period of replenishment, carry the resource stock to avoid stock out, stabilize fluctuations in consumption, to provide reasonable level of client service, increase efficiency of healthcare system, develop knowledge and skills of healthcare, provide materials in required quantity and quality as when required. 4 principles of documentation include date and time, document the time and date and time of each recording, correct spelling, appropriateness, legal protections, because what we write is to have a legal protection for the nurses, accuracy, completeness, it should be brief. 4 characteristics of a professional nurse: caring, empathetic, detail-oriented, emotionally stable, adaptable, hardworking, quick thinker, physical endurance, good judgment, good communication skills. For purpose of cost evaluation, for the promotion of improvement, assessment of the effectiveness, whether the objectives are achieved or not, to check whether the evaluation methods are adequate or not. Difference between management and administration. Management getting work done through with others, but administration with the formulation of objective policies of organization. Management refers to execution of decisions, it's a doing function, but administration related to decision making, it's a thinking function. Management decides who shall implement the administrative decision. Administration determines what will be done when it will be done. Management is relevant at the lower levels, but administration refers to higher levels in the organization. Next is PERT and Gantt chart. PERT is acronym for Program Evaluation and Review Technique. A PERT chart is a project management tool used to schedule, organize, coordinate tasks within the project. It is a method to analyze the task involved in completing a given project, especially the time needed to complete each task and to identify minimum time needed to complete the total project. A Gantt chart is a type of horizontal bar chart commonly used in project management, which is visual view of tasks scheduled over time. It provides a graphical visualization of a schedule that helps to plan, coordinate, and task specific in a project. Gantt chart a bar graph. The x-axis consists of the dates and y-axis the separate task. Records and reports. A record is a permanent written communication that documents information relevant to a client's healthcare management. A record is a clinical, scientific, administrative, and legal document relating to the nursing care given to the individual, family, or community. Reports are oral or written exchange of information shared between caregivers or workers in a number of ways. A report is summary of the services of a person or personnel and of the agency. Penalties and punishment. A difference between punishment and penalty is that punishment is an act or process of punishing, imposing, and or applying sanction, while penalty is a legal sentence. The penalty for his crime has to do a hard labor. Nursing rounds and care conference. Nursing round in which the presence overview of certain aspect of nursing or medical care of all patients on the ward or selected patients. The entire clinical group of students are assembled at the bedside of a pre-selected patients who have been agreed to participate in and who has been briefed beforehand to his role in learning experience. At the end, the instructor concludes the discussion by giving her opinion, guidance, and relevant instruction. The patient is finally briefed up conclusions and reached following discussion. Nursing conference is defined a process in which the group discussion is made using a problem-solving techniques to determine the ways of providing care for the patients to whom the students are assigned as a part of the clinical experience. Nursing conference helps the students to develop problem-solving skills, to develop the team-building skills and ability to express oneself assertively. Thank you. Thank you for listening.